this year has been different.
Said that all winter championships would be canceled.
Now the NCAA canceling remaining championship games.
This season will be different. But our path to greatness,
to excellence,
to championships,
remains the same. And so we bring
our drive, our determination, our hunger, yesterday, today, always.
the journey continues.
Welcome to the Dana Duckworth Show, brought to you by Alabama One. I'm Kennedy Chase here with head coach Dana Duckworth. And coach, what a great meet against Florida to end the regular season. What are some of your thoughts about this past season?
Well, I think the best way to describe this Friday was that a very young team was in 2/10 of the #1 team in the country. And we had an opportunity. Some of that opportunity was missed. And I think it's all about learning and growing and finding that inner belief and faith that we've got this. And, you know, Luisa Blanco was stunning. She won 3 events on the all-around. We had Alonza Kloffer, our seniors, Lexi Graber literally go out on a high note. And so overall, the team did a great job. And we use it to get better. And we use it to get fired up going into the championship season.
So since this was the last meet of the regular season, I have to ask, what do you think was the most memorable experience this past season?
Oh, there's so many incredible memories. You know, I think the piece is that this team made it through a global pandemic. I think when you look at all the things that have been asked of these young women and just the newness of wearing masks and social distancing and just the discipline that was needed, it really took our team to a whole nother level. And I'm going to remember how these women were resilient. I think that's the biggest thing from this season, that they have never stopped fighting and they have never given up.
So we're going to do business as usual. We have 4 rotations to talk about. We're going to start with vault, starting with Luisa Blanco, who was the champion of this rotation with a 9.925, and she tied her career best.
Luisa has been executing a vault just stunning. Right there, boom. She gets that landing. I think that her form in the air is just as tight as it can be. She gets good amplitude, and I just think she's controlling that landing very well.
Yes, that power before she touches the vault, I think, is so incredible.
I really kind of wonder, how do we make that vault better? It's pretty executed well.
Yes. And then we have senior Lexi Graber, who scored a 9.875.
The biggest difference in Lexi's vault is how high and far she gets away from the table. Boom, you see that distance, and she takes that step, which is a 1/10 deduction. So the judges really did reward her for an excellent vault right there. I mean, she's got good form in the air, and when she nails that vault, it will probably be one of the highest and biggest vaults in the country for a 1.5. It starts from a 10.0 start value, so you just see that one little step in back is where her deductions came from.
Yes, so what are some improvements that you were looking for from the team going into the SEC championship?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we are executing 10.0 start value vaults, and now we just have to stick them. That is the goal. And I think that our training and the stick drills and all the things that we're doing are getting us that much more prepared. And as we go into championship season, it's just about executing what we do every day.
Yes, execution is key. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be discussing bars and beam.
The Dana Duckworth Show is brought to you by Alabama One.
Welcome back to the Dana Duckworth Show, brought to you by Alabama One. And now we're going to discuss bars. So you had a great start on vault. What was the mindset of the team going into the second rotation?
Well, just to attack our handstands and stick our landings. And what was nice is we've had a consistent lineup on bars. So we're really trying to just get into the groove. We had a mistake on the first routine. And so what's really strong is that could happen in a championship setting. So what are you going to do right after that? Is what happens before you doesn't matter. It's what you do in the present. And that's what we really focused on, is one routine at a time, following the mistake, and really coming out with a nice rotation.
Well, let's start talking about this rotation, starting with Cam Machado, who scored a 9.875 and tied her career best.
As a freshman, we've just really worked on Cameron's confidence and her aggressiveness when she attacks this event. She does great handstand work. You see her do a Maloney right back to the low bar, and the separation in the legs we're seeing is because of the angle. From the side, a lot of times the judges don't see that separation. You see here on her dismount, she does a toe full, lands in the handstand, beautiful double tuck stuck landing, and I was excited about how excited she got.
Yes.
Sometimes the freshmen don't realize, like, when you land a great routine, just go ahead and celebrate. And so we've been working on that with Cameron. Everything is just getting better, more aggressive, and she did a nice job.
So now we're going to move on to Shania Adams, who scored a 9.925, meeting her career best as a freshman.
Absolutely, and when you watch this routine, she attacks the handstands. The high bar to low bar connection is really hard, and she does it really well. Right here, the Maloney half. The best part of her bar routine, honestly, is how her handstands are just on top of the bar.
Yes.
She is very aggressive. That was a great stuck landing. She brought her heels together. The judges really rewarded that routine because there wasn't a lot to take. Right there, full pirouette, lands within 10 degrees, takes that double tuck above the bar, and gets that landing.
Sticks that landing. And next we're going to move on to Luisa Blanco, who tied her career best and is the champion of this rotation with a 9.95.
She is another athlete that just really gets the handstand connections here to her Maloney, to her pack. You just see her legs are completely tied together. Right here, that was the best low bar pirouette she's done all season. And then, of course, the highlight is how she sticks this landing. There is a beautiful full in back out right here, well above the bar. You see there, and she just gets those arms out and nails that stuck landing. So honestly, executed again. That we're going to talk about execution a lot this show, because this is what it's about, the attention to detail.
Yes, execution and attention to detail. So someone who's not a gymnast, and I'm just watching this, and I'm in awe every time I watch every rotation, what to you is the most tricky dismount?
Well, it depends on the athlete's athleticism and what they can do, because a full pirouette to a double tuck is not a easy connection to do, but then the big E dismounts of the double layouts, the full ins and the full in double lays and twisting and all those types of things is really dependent on how the athlete can handle it. So it's all hard, and they make it look easy.
Yes, they do make it look easy. So now we're going to talk about beam, the third rotation, and we're going to start with senior Alonza Cloffer, who scored a 9.875.
Yes, and like we've talked about all year, Alonza handles this leadoff position just gracefully. She does a squat full turn. Every beam routine must have a 360-degree turn in it. She has her acro connection here, a front aerial to back handspring. She just is confident in the way she moves in and out of each skill. Right here, her leap jumps are a beat jump to a straddle half. You see her get well to the 180 position, also a requirement. Right here, the cat leap aerial, you just see the steadiness. Now, this was her only major deduction right here. She was a little over on that dismount, took that small hop, but to be in the leadoff position and consistently go 9.875, 9.9 is exactly where we want her to be.
Yes, and she's definitely taking full advantage of her senior night with all that celebration at the end. So next we're going to talk about Makari Doggett, who scored a 9.875.
And when you watch Makari, she has a little different style of her own, and I think that she works the beam extremely aggressive. Right here, her back handspring layout, just amazing amplitude. And what I mean by amplitude, her height is really strong. Right here, she does a beat jump, switch half, beat jump. That is a really hard combination, and she does that well. But this was the best part, the full pirouette double tuck, or sorry, my goodness, look at me, I'm like I'm on bars. Her side aerial full is a beautiful dismount. She gets that landing, you see her feet don't move, and you see that smile on her face that she's been trying to get that all season.
And lastly, we're going to talk about Luisa Blanco, who is the champion of this rotation with a 9.925 and won the all-around for the fourth time in a row and was named SEC Gymnast of the Week again for the second time.
So proud that she's being recognized for the accomplishments, and just love how she works the balance beam. She makes it look easy. She just is so light on the beam. Right here, the back handspring layout is just absolutely done with as much perfection as you can ask for. Her leap pass, when she does that series, is just a switch leap beat jump, which she does nice job with. Right here, the round off double full, a hard dismount. And she said, "Dana, I didn't stick my heels together fast enough." Oh. And she's right. If she would have brought those heels together a little quicker, we probably would have gone 9.975. Right. But I love that those little details are in her mind, because she's the type of athlete that does not want to settle for being average. This young woman comes in the gym every day and she says, "I want to be better than average. I want to be incredible." And I'm like, well, you are. But we continue to work those details, and that is why she continues to shine.
Yes, and that's why she has all those incredible accolades every time we speak. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be discussing the final rotation, floor.
The Dana Duckworth Show is brought to you by Alabama One.
Welcome back to the Dana Duckworth Show, brought to you by Alabama One, and now we're going to discuss floor. So, Coach, what was the energy like for the team going into this final rotation for the last time for this regular season?
I think this rotation brought a lot of energy. I think they were really excited. The one thing that we missed out on was the first half of our lineup on floor. To be very, very blunt, we did not do what we were capable of doing. We didn't do what we have done all season, and so that just gave the other team a little more advantage as the night went on. Now, our last three routines were dynamite, probably some of the best that they could have done, and that's what we're going to need. We need all six to hit under the lights.
So we're going to start with Alonza Cloffer, senior, who scored a 9.9 and scored her career best.
The neat part about this story is that our freshman, Shania Adams, was struggling in touch warm-up, and Alonza was basically in the wings ready to go. So right here, she steps in, kind of like as a backup, and then did her best routine of the night, which I thought was just amazing.
Beautiful.
So she does the double tuck first pass. She has the beautiful leap series of terjete half, Popa. Right here, her round off 1.5 front layout was probably the best she has ever competed. It was lifting, it was well done, but right here she does a gorgeous double pike last pass. This is a pass that she works really hard on in the gym. You see that she has complete control. Her chest is really tall when she lands, and you can see that excitement on her face.
Yes.
It was her last, regular season floor routine in Coleman. We're going to talk about being back there for regionals, which is great, but I'm so proud of her for this night on senior night. The night that we celebrate their 4 years of accomplishments, she hits a golden routine.
Yes, and now on to your second senior, Lexi Graber, who scored a 9.975 and was the champion of this rotation and tied her career best.
Yes, she did a really hard first pass, really high there, a full in with a back tuck, so it's like a double twisting combination. It's so beautiful right there. She does a leap pass that has a D-level skill in it. The wolf full and a half gives her bonus, and she just did a wonderful job with the front through to double pike. You can see that she completely controls that landing. I love how sharp she was with her arms, and then I also love the emotion you see at the end. Lexi's not a real emotional person. She's the kind of kid we always talk about that doesn't cry. And you can see right there that there's this like relief on her face, and she just did it for her girls. She did it for her team. It was just beautiful.
I'm sure it was an emotional night, especially because it's senior night and it's the end of the regular season.
Yes, and these women have just matured so much. You've seen these young women literally go from children that are 17 and 18 young women to literally 22-year-olds, and they've handled it with grace and beauty, and I'm just so excited for the next chapter. But we have a lot to finish in this season and a lot to do, so I'm excited for them to be the leaders as we go into championship season.
Definitely grace and beauty are the words to describe your seniors. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be discussing Dana's Tip of the Week.
The Dana Duckworth Show is brought to you by Alabama One.
Welcome back to the Dana Duckworth Show, brought to you by Alabama One. And now we're going to discuss Dana's Tip of the Week, which is going into that SEC championship meet. So how is the championship season different than the last 8 meets that you've competed in so far?
So for us, we did not have a quad meet in the regular season. And so the biggest change for us in the championship setting is there will be 4 teams on the floor all competing at the same time. So it's not one team and then the next team competes. We will start, and we selected this rotation starting on floor, and then we will go vault bars ending on beam, one of the very best events of this team. And so we are excited that we will have 4 teams going out at the same time. The energy in the arena is wild because you have crowd coming from all different angles at you. And so it will be all, just an opportunity for us to be together as a team. And the one thing I do want to recognize that last year, 363 days ago, is when I got the phone call that we would not have a championship season. And so when you think about all of the regular season work, I look at SECs, regionals and nationals truly as a reward for all the hard work and discipline that has been going on for the last 7 to 8 months. And so we're really excited to be out there, to have the opportunity to wing the bling, it's all about the ring, and the opportunity to just put all of it together and really peak at the right time. And so it's 4 events going on at the same time, and everyone has to be mentally focused and present.
Well, that's a great tip. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be discussing the SEC championships.
The Dana Duckworth Show is brought to you by Alabama One.
Here in Tuscaloosa, and of course they've contributed so much to this iconic program here at Alabama.
Wow! Look at that landing! Look at the form in the air! Gorgeous! Good fight on those landings. So exquisitely performed.
Well, welcome back to the Dana Duckworth Show, brought to you by Alabama One, and what a powerful video. And speaking of empowerment, it is Women's History Month. So in light of Women's History Month, how would you describe this team?
Historic. I think that we will always know that Team 47 has lived, competed, trained in a global pandemic. I mean, who would have ever thought we would be wearing masks and social distancing? And I think that what we talk about all the time is control what you can control, and this team has done just that. We are trying to help them live in the present. I think that our medical staff has done an incredible job with the mental and physical health of our student athletes, and we are so grateful that the University of Alabama gives us those resources. And the other piece is that, you know, as we move forward, we want everyone to be vaccinated so we can fill those arenas next year. And I want to encourage everyone to take the steps in doing what they can to be safe and to keep others safe. And I think that's the biggest thing, and the characteristic of this team is that they have learned very early at this stage in their life how to really control the unexpected and to have a great mindset and to be mentally tough. And these are all skills that will go on with us for the rest of our life. I am so proud of what this team has accomplished. And, oh, we're not even close to being done.
No.
I just believe in this team. This team can do anything this team wants to accomplish with the right attitude, with the right discipline, with the right mindset. And, I mean, we are going into this championship season as primed and ready as we possibly can. And I just can't speak to enough of the opportunities that we have, and I hope those ladies go grab it. My job as a coach is to help model and mentor and build their confidence. And their job as a student athlete is to do well in the classroom and put it all out there when they compete, with no fear, with all just attitude and of gratitude, and to give their very, very best. And if we do that, and they do that in their life, as women, we are doing what we can do to be the best versions of ourselves.
I love how you use the word historic to describe this team. I can't agree with you anymore. So what are some of the strengths that you saw from the team throughout the season?
I think that the resilience there, I feel like we had to expect the unexpected, in the sense that every week, you know, we're getting COVID tested, and the next day you're wondering, okay, are we going to have our team? Have we done the right things? Today, who's healthy? Who's mentally available? And I think that the idea of being able to adapt, adjust, and overcome has just been a consistent theme for this team. I mean, you can look at it from a day-to-day process. You can look at it from the way we've done our lineups, and this person's supposed to go, but that person steps in because something took place. And quite frankly, that's life. Life is going to throw us curveballs every single day. But the reality is, are you going to stay positive? Are you going to keep a positive mindset that anything is possible? You never give up. And with absolute confidence and faith, anything is possible. So that's what I remember about this team. I want them to leave here as anything is possible people, believing that they are capable of doing anything they want to do. And that's what we need to do every day, as young as just people, you know?
Yes,
women, men, doesn't matter.
Yes, anything is possible.
That's
for
right.
sure. So you're going into the SEC championship. What are some improvements that you're expecting from the team?
Well, I think the attitude is to go out there and put it all out there. That there's no holding back, there's nothing to lose, literally putting it all out there with confidence and attacking every single routine. I think that we're doing that in the gym. We're focusing on the things that we can control and just doing the best of it to our abilities. And I think that's what we have to do at SECs. Calm, confident, cool, do our job.
Yes, do your job, what you guys always do. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Dana Duckworth Show. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide, and thanks for supporting all of us.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.